school. So they are doing it. What we are trying to do when the government tries to do something, what they're doing is they're starting with English education in grade 1, when it's not need-based at all. Health, hygiene, all of these are more important to be taught there. So when education is according to the needs of people, I think we will make a better space.
So over to you.
Totally agree with what ma'am was just saying. One thing that I feel would add to that readiness would be focusing more on skills and not on just knowledge and content. We forget that, yes, like knowledge and content will remain with you for some time, will help you for some time, but it is the skills eventually which are going to help you to tide over situations in life. So let us focus more on honing those skills in students. It could be listening, as simple as listening, how to filter matter, how to use communication to your advantage, and then focus later on the grades and the marks that we keep talking about all the time. So for this, we have to first bring about a change in ourselves. We have to make parental community understand that don't push children too much for marks and grades. Let us focus on skills, and that automatically will equip the children to face the future, and we will be future ready, definitely. There was a research that I read recently, and that was on growth mindset. So what is this growth mindset? One way of looking at teaching learning is typical theater style of seating, marks, grades, questions, answers, books, syllabus. That is one way. And the other way is, the other facet is that, yes, you have hands-on, you have experiential, you are project-based, you kind of give situations, ask children to think of, solutions to problems. So a different paradigm altogether. So let us nurture the growth mindset in students, and that would definitely make us future ready. Thank you.
Thank you. So as Vandana ma'am was rightly putting it, that there is a demographical shift going to happen, and by 2020, we'll have the youngest age group, or we'll be the youngest country. The average age of people in our country would be approximately 24 or 25. So what is required then? It's very important we have that tomorrow, today with us. And we need to ensure that these children are given an environment where they learn to know what needs to be done with themselves, their time, with their own skills and their own abilities. So a platform, a space where they will identify their skills, they'll be able to utilize or channelize in a direction which will help them make something of the future has to be created. So that is where I wanted to talk about the self-directed learning. If the basic skills in children are developed, they will find their path as they grow. I saw a movie some time back, Gravity. There was this Interstellar. Now, these kind of movies that had come in, I don't think those scenarios were ever taught in any school, how to shoot that scene, how to shoot a scene of zero gravity, or how to create a space where you're showing, the universe, and out there, how are the astronauts going to be shot because they were shooting right on this planet Earth. No movie-making school would have taught that. But I'm sure with that physics, that somewhere some skills would have been learned by that person, the director, in his schooling days, or that self-directed learning, that zeal for being self-directed, and trying to get to know more about a particular thing, that one has to develop that thing about getting to learn more. And we as teachers, as educators, can ensure that can be done in school days. During this child's learning at school, give him situations, give him environment, give him or her the environment where those kind of skills can be developed. And I think they would be ready for the time when they have to create those kind of jobs or create the kind of world which is going to come up.
Thank you very much. I think it was an excellent thought processes, excellent reflection of three very eminent principals here this afternoon. And I think what we really conclude from this panel discussion is, first and foremost, we need to have the right vision. And if we have the right vision and we can visualize what we want to have and what we want to gain, and we have the right passion or the right dream to achieve it, and we have the right direction, irrespective of the infrastructure or irrespective of whatever you have within yourself, you will definitely achieve the goal. And I think to be building a world-class school or the world-class education, the most important thing that you need to have is to have the passion, have the love for what you do, and most important, love for children, for whom this world is and for whom we all remain. So world-class schools can happen only if you can have that clarity within you and have that clear vision with you. So thank you very much, Revati and Dr. Amrita and Ms. Seema for the lovely afternoon session. Thank you, audience, for your patient hearing. And I won't take your time because I know lunch and we are waiting. I don't know.
No, but we still have to wait a little bit more.
Okay.
And I request all of you to stay back here with me on stage. And at the same time, there's this very popular saying that the child inside you never dies. And the things that we right now heard or listened, this is something, it's not only, there were things like self-direction, there were things like having that proper vision, that evolving nature. It's not only school, but there are a lot of organizations which should follow all these kind of patterns. The reason being, there are people, it's not only kids who don't know what to do, but there are people who are young like me, 24, 25, 26, who are still not able to figure out what they want to do in life. And school being the primary structure of learning things, if we imply the same thing for young people as well who are at the age group of 20, 25, who are still not able to figure out what to do better in life, I think they'll also find a way. So I think all these, whatever we are listening right now, hearing right now, it should go out a lot in public, a lot more. I think more people should listen to it. So I'm hoping that next time they do a Facebook live session, so that everybody who's, who has liked the page of Education Today could, all the youngsters should also listen to this. And I am really having a wonderful time out here, listening to all the beautiful people here. So thank you so much. And at the same time, I'd request Miss Divya Lal, ma'am, please come on stage. And I'd request ma'am to felicitate our panel members. So we'll start, yes, we can start from there. We'll start with Dr. Amrita Vora, Principal GIIS Chinchwad. Miss Seema Saini. And the moderator for this panel discussion, Dr. Mrs. Vandana Lula and Mrs. Revati Srinivasan, who is the principal of Srimati Sulochana Devi Singhania School. So thank you so much for the insights. Thank you so much for expressing such wonderful thoughts. Thank you very much. Thank you. Before they all leave the stage, can we have a big round of applause for all the panelists here? All right. So the next session is by the founder of Brain Wonders, Mr. Manish Naidu, the largest assessment organization with more than 94 centers across India. He's also the winner of 2 national awards. More than 2 lakh students have been profiled across the nation by his company. Brain Wonders uses unique US patented DMIT and has the largest battery of psychometric aptitude and career counseling test, which has which has revolutionized the concept of educational counseling to create wonders of identifying the skills and the aptitude of students and promoting them to perfection in his primary goal of happy child concept. So let's listen to the happy child concept and let's call the founder of Brain Wonders, Mr. Manish Naidu, and let's give him a big round of applause for Mr. Manish Naidu.
Thanks a lot. Till you said Manish Naidu Brain Wonders, I thought you were telling about somebody else. So just, I should have called you when they were introducing me to my mother-in-law 8 years back. You would have done a very wonderful job. Mr. Anil Sharma is somebody whom I should thank. He has given me the podium to speak for. He is a very good friend of mine. At least that is what I thought before he gave me the arduous task of the last man standing between you and the lunch. And my wife once said that you cannot separate a woman from a lunch, so I won't keep you long. You have had wonderful sessions in the morning, and I was very keen to hear Ms. Swati Popat speaking about the various aspects of early child care. There are 5 or 6 notes which I made, so obviously I'll be running out of time of telling of my own stuff. But there's something which she has said. You remember the first diagram which she had shown. There were 2 diagrams. One where the child had articulately written and diagrammed the car, and the second one had few trees written onto it. It is also probably because 6 months was the difference. It was March and it was September. I think in March, the child would have probably seen a lot of things when he is going onto the field, from his house to the school. So there's a lot of visual observation which the kid has done it, which is something which we should also observe. Today what I'm going to do is, so you had a session where you had people talking about building world-class schools, colleges, institutions. What I'll do today is I'll introduce you to the world of identifying yourself, identifying the way you have identified the characteristics of a person. I could see familiar faces. There were a few of them who had attended my last session. Can you just raise your hands? Few of them who had done it? Yeah, 2, 3. So I think you all should be the group leaders this time. What I'll do is I'll introduce you to the wonderful world of DMIT. It's called Dermatographics Multiple Intelligence Test. Do I have it in my hands? Yeah. So it's a concept which will change the world. Educators look at the child. More often than not, what we do is we identify the child very uniquely. We say the child is unique. We say the child is different. We say that the child is a different child altogether. But as parents or as educators, are we different? How do you identify? So what DMIT does is it gives you 4 different aspects. It talks about the left and right brain dominance. It talks about the learning styles. It talks about the strengths and the weaknesses. It talks about the career introspection. More importantly, it talks about the characteristics of a child. The team of Brain Wonders has given you a letter, a small page. Has everybody got it? Something which should look like this. Has everybody received it? Wonderful. Now, how do you identify one's characteristics? What is the easiest way of identifying? Do we have an extra mic which we could probably give it to the audience? What is the best way of identifying the characteristics of a person? Maybe sitting for a longer amount of time, having a tea, coffee, and then identification. There's one more way of identifying a person. And that way is through your genetically imprinted fingerprints. Because fingerprints are formed when the child is in the mother's womb. Fingerprints do not change. No 2 fingerprints are ever the same. Fingerprints are formed when the child is in the mother's womb between the 1st to the 13th week. And then it goes on up to the 19th week. So fingerprints and the brain development is very synonymous. So what we'll do is we'll do a small activity session which will help you. Usha ji is already smiling because I did it in one of her school in, it's a wonderful school, the Bangalore school in Bangalore, obviously. And we did this session out there, and it was absolutely wonderful. So what we'll do is, as educators, as principals, as people of somebody who is going to change the child's future, let us understand our own characteristics. So in front of you, you have this 4 fingerprint patterns. What you have to do is you have to identify the fingerprint of your neighbor and the one which comes in your thumb. Okay? So obviously, we all have 2. You look at the left and right and mark the one which you feel is good. It could be a vole, it could be a radial, it could be an ulnar, it could be an arc. Usha ji has cut down 10 minutes of our time. So what I'll do is I have the strong team of Brain Wonders helping you identify the fingerprints. Not so soon. The moment I start, I say cheese, you start it. And then you will have 5 minutes. You will have to identify the fingerprint of your neighbor, not yourself. And your time starts now. Brain Wonders team, just help them. So this is vole. Look at your thumbs. Both the thumbs. And just mark. Doctor from Japan is having a tough time. Wait, I'll see your fingerprints myself.
Getting old.
Oh, no. It's an ulnar. So mark on ulnar. Did you get the pattern? Did everybody get the paper? Anybody who has not received the paper as yet? Robert, sir, just help here. Yeah. Somebody at the front. We don't have much time. Vole. So this is how your vole will look. This is how an ulnar will. This is how your radial will look like. And this is the most difficult fingerprint, the arc. And somebody have a look at Anil Shah's fingerprints. You have taken already, right? Has everybody identified anybody who needs help? Raise their hands. Anybody who needs help with identifying your fingerprints? You saw yours? Let me have the opportunity to see it.
I think it's radial.
Oh, you won't get a radial. It's an ulnar here. It's an arc. You have to be in between, huh? When I say. It's an ulnar. It's an arc. So when I say arc, you have to be in the middle. Are we all done? Anybody still remaining? So just wave the paper. Just showing the paper. It's all done? Wonderful. So now we know your characteristics. Kindly return the paper back and we will take it the next session, some other time. Or do you want to identify the characteristic and know what it stands for? Right here. That's how you, yes. Vandana ji already knows her fingerprints, so she is relaxed. There is something called as a 16 PI, 16 Personality Index traits. The whole world is divided into 4 different sets of fingerprints, which is further divided into 16 different subtypes of fingerprints, and none will ever match the other. That's the beauty of fingerprints, and that's the beauty of the genetic traits which it comes in with. So what we'll do today is, we'll identify these 4 different types of fingerprints and see what stands for more. Okay? So what we'll do is, whoever has voles, Vandana is smiling. Whoever has voles, kindly shift to the left. And whoever has Alnas, kindly go to the right. Please do that. Get up, get up. You can leave the purse. It's a honorable crowd here. All on the vole will be on the left. The ones having the Alnar will be on the right. You're the arc. The one who is having an arc or radial, please sit here. You are a different crowd altogether. The voles on the left, the Alnars on the right. You have voles? Alnars? Alnar. So left and right, both the thumbs, if it is a vole, on the left. Alnars on the right, on my right. Vandana ji, I remember your print. You will have to be on the left. You have to. So, which fingerprint he has? Did you check in? No?